Okay, welcome to our class on trigonometry. So let's just do a quick recap on Pythagoras. The triangle here says that we knew this was, the hypotenuse here is c squared, the bottom one was b squared, and the actual straight up and down was a squared. Now, for trigonometry, we actually have to understand the names of each of the sides of our triangle. So we knew from before that this was our hypotenuse. Okay. This one down here is called adjacent. And this one is opposite. Okay, so down here, this is called our angle. Alright, so angle. It's the angle of the triangle. Okay, so this here is called adjacent. So this one from here to here is called adjacent because it's next to the angle. So when you talk about adjacent, it means next to. Okay, so if I was sitting adjacent to you, I'd be sitting next to you. This one is opposite because this line here is sitting opposite, so on the other side of the angle. So in trigonometry, it's the reason why it's important is because we want to be able to, if we don't know the angle of something, so for example, let me draw this again for you. If we didn't know, so this is our hypotenuse, this is opposite, this is adjacent. If we didn't know here this degree, we probably wouldn't know, we'd find it difficult to understand like the gradient of that particular angle. Similarly, if we didn't know one of these other ones, so we didn't know the hypotenuse or the opposite or the adjacent, trigonometry helps us work that out for us. Okay, so there are three calculations or main functions when we're dealing with trigonometry. They are sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, they can actually be broken down or shortened to sine, cos, and tan. So from now on, we're going to refer to each of these using these shortened labels. So let's take a closer look at these. So I'm going to draw this right-hand triangle. This is our angle. We know that the long side here is hypotenuse. This one here is adjacent because it is next to here. It's next to the angle. Okay, and this one is opposite. Okay, because it's sitting opposite the angle. Okay, so let's have a look at sine first. In order to calculate the sine, we have opposite over hypotenuse. For cos, we have adjacent over hypotenuse. And last but not least, we have tan, and it is opposite over adjacent. Okay, now to make this a little bit easier, you can actually break this down into an acronym or a saying. So up here, let's look at this one first. Sin. The first letter of each of those words spell out so. This one, cos. So C-A-H. And the last one, T-O-A. So all together, they spell out Sokotar. That could be a way or an easier way to remember what these are. Okay, in our next lesson we will deal with how to calculate cos and tan. Okay, so let's use an example. We're going to try and find out how tall a tree is by using these calculations. So here we go, we've got our tree. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, gee, she's a good drawer. Like this, okay? So with our angle, we could actually put our triangle like this, okay? And let's say we know what our hypotenuse is. So here we've got our H, and let's say that's 20 metres. We know that it's 20 metres. We also know that the angle to which the tree, from where we're standing, so here, we also know that here, the degrees is 45 degrees. So we still want to need to know how tall this tree is. We want to know what the opposite is. So this is the opposite. We don't know what that is, okay? Okay, so we remember before sine here, we know it's 45 degrees, and the ratio or the formula is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so you're going to need your calculator here. So in your calculator, type in 45 and then press the sine button. You should get something that looks like this, 0.7071 recurring. Let's just keep it to that 4 decimal places though. So therefore, we can rewrite this as 0.7071 equals our opposite over our hypotenuse. Therefore, we do know what our hypotenuse is, so let's continue it down. We have opposite over 20. So, how do we find out what this figure is here, which is our opposite? We need to multiply both sides by 20. Therefore, 20 multiplied by 0.7071 will give us our opposite. Okay, make sure I put that in there, so that means opposite. Okay, I'll just move this up slightly. Okay, so therefore 20 times 0.7071 equals, so opposite equals 14.14 metres. Okay, so I've just rounded that off. So let's recap. We know the hypotenuse was 20. We knew our degrees was 45. We wanted to know how high our tree was, and we've worked out that the tree sits at 14.14 metres high.